Om Asmadgurubhyo Namaha. Krishno Rakshatu no Jagatraya Guruhu. Krishnam Namasyamyaham. Krishne Namarasitravo Vinihataha. Krishnaya Tasmai Namaha. Krishna Deva Samuthitam Jagadidam. Krishnasya Dasosmyaham. Krishne Tishtati Vishwametadakilam. He Krishna Samrakshamam. Srimanarayana, with blessings of Sri Chinajaya Swamiji. We are continuing Bhagavad Gita. We finished chapter 14. We'll start with chapter 15 today. So chapter 15 is part of the third Shatkam, right? So we are revising, Lord Krishna is revising all the concepts that he taught us in the first 12 chapters of Bhagavad Gita. So what did we learn in chapter 13? Just a quick recap of chapter 13. What's the name of chapter 13?
Kshetra Kshetrajnaha.
Kshetra Kshetrajna Vibhaga Yoga. And what did we learn in chapter 13? Kshetra and Kshetrajna, right? So Kshetra is
Body
and Kshetrajna
is Atma, Jivatma.
Jivatma, yes. So we learned about the Atma, Jivatma, and the body. Characteristics of Jivatma, characteristics of the body, and distinction between them, right? And the superiority of the Jivatma compared to the body, right? And what did we learn in chapter 14? What's the name of chapter 14?
Gunatraya Vibhaga Yoga.
Gunatraya Vibhaga Yoga. So what are the gunas? Three gunas, Gunatraya. What are the three gunas?
Rajas, Tamas, Sattvic, Rajas, Tamas.
Sattva, Rajas, and Tamas. And so what are the qualities of? Like, these are the qualities of
Prakriti.
Prakriti, right? And why are we learning about why did we learn? Why did Lord Krishna teach us in detail about the three qualities of Prakriti?
Because of the three gunas, the way they affect us in actions.
They bind us.
Need to, yeah.
The way they bind us.
Yes, because the gunas are the ones, our attachment to the gunas or the effects of the gunas is the reason why we are bound in this cycle of births, right? So we are getting different various kinds of bodies one after the other as we are getting attached to the effects of these three gunas, or we are influenced by the effects of the three gunas. And what do we need to do to come out of this cycle?
We need to transcend the three gunas.
We need to transcend the three gunas. And what is the means, the ultimate means to transcend the three gunas? Can we transcend those gunas by ourselves with our own efforts?
Only by Ananya Bhakti or unadulterated Bhakti towards Paramatma.
Very good, very good. Yeah. So basically, at the end of chapter 14, Lord Krishna gave why we need to surrender to Paramatma, or only by surrendering to Paramatma, only by serving Paramatma with pure bhakti, right? seeking nothing other than Paramatma, we will be able to overcome the influence of the three gunas, or we will be able to overcome the three gunas simply. And we will be able to come out of this cycle of rebirths, right? So we'll be eligible, we'll be fit to get the liberation, right?
Yeah.
So, and why do we need to? So, I mean, what is so special about him? Why can't it be other devatas?
Because he is the supporter of everything. So he's the
Yes. So,
creator, he's the sustainer, everything.
It's unchangeable
yes.
and indestructible.
Yeah. So he is the one who is the creator, supporter of this entire universe. This entire universe belongs to him. So the Prakriti belongs to him, right? And if we want to transcend the effects of the Prakriti, then we need to approach the owner of the Prakriti, right? It will listen to him. He's more powerful than Prakriti. He's the one who is the creator. He knows how to take us out of this, like imagine we are bound by this samsara, bound by this nature, or the effects of this nature. So he is the one who will liberate us, right? Because he knows and he is powerful. So he said, I am the basis, I am the means for this entire universe. Okay. So now, so we learned about, primarily we learned about the Jivatma or Atma, that is Chit. And we learned about the nature, the Prakriti, Achit. Okay. And at the end, almost at the end, Lord Krishna said, I'm the one who will liberate you, right? So serve me and or surrender to me, then I will be liberating you. I will liberate you. Okay, you will become eligible to get the liberation. So that is a third reality. Like we learned about Atma, Prakriti, two realities. The third reality is Paramatma, right? So Paramatma is also referred to as Purushottama, right? So Purusha, what is the meaning of Purusha? Purusha does not mean male. Typically, that's another translation that commonly understood. Purusha means male, but Purusha has a different meaning. Okay, does anyone? Purusha word came earlier also. He referred to Jivatma as Purusha. Okay, so Purusha is Puri Sete iti Purusha. So one who is residing, okay, one who is the having the Puri, that is the Deha or the body, okay, one who is inside, who is residing in the body and wearing, imagine it's like wearing the body, okay, or having the body, that is referred to as Purusha, which is nothing but Jivatma, right? Or Atma. So we are all Atmas, distinct Atmas, okay? And we are occupying these bodies, go from one body to another body if we are taking rebirth in those bodies, right? So we are all called Purushas, and he is called Purusha Uttama, Purushottama, right? Uttama Purusha. Okay. Uttama means it's the best, superior. There is no one equal or above. That is called Uttama. In Sanskrit, there are these levels of comparison. If you are trying to compare things, in English we have good, better, and best, right? So best means there is nothing beyond that or equal to that. And better is there could be many, right? And they are better compared to good. Good can be even more, many, many, right? Just normal things, you know, lot of normal things would be there, but there are some things which are good compared to normal, and some are better than good, and only one is best of all, right? So in Sanskrit, the one that is best is called Uttama, and better is called Uttara, Tara, Uttara, um, and good is called Ut. No, so Ut Purushaha, Uttara Purushaha, Uttama Purushaha, Purushottama, or you can call, right? So Paramatma is the Purushottama, and this chapter is called Purushottama Prapti Yoga, right? Yoga, all these chapters which are ending with yoga in Bhagavad Gita, they are the means, right? So Purushottama Prapti is the means to achieve our ultimate goal. Prapti is surrender, right? So Purushottama is surrendering to Paramatma, surrendering to God is the means, right? So in 14th chapter, he said, surrender to me, serve me, then you will become eligible to get your liberation. So 15th chapter is elaborating on that concept of who he is, right? And why he is Uttama Purushaha, why he is Purushottama, and who are the Uttara Purushas, and who are in general like Utpurushas and general creation, right? So if you're considering Utpurusha, Uttara Purusha, and Uttama Purusha, Utpurusha are the ones um, who are seeking Paramatma, but they are not liberated yet. Okay? Uttara Purusha are the liberated Jivatmas. Those Jivatmas which got the moksha. Okay? They are not taking birth again and again in this nature, or who are liberated from this the binds of this nature, right? And Uttama Purusha is Paramatma. So Paramatma is not same as all these Purushas. If he is same, he could say, why? How can he refer to himself as Purushottama, right? So all these Purushas are there. Utpurusha, Uttara Purushas, and he is distinguishing himself from the other Jivatmas, saying that I am the best. Okay, so he is also Jivatma. Sorry, he is also Purusha, right? One who is residing in a body, right? So what is that body that he is residing in?
The Jivatmas, with all Jivas,
Right.
the body.
So all the Jivatmas are part of his body, and the entire nature is part of his body. So this everything that is manifested is part of his body only. So that's when Lord Krishna saw the Vishwarupa of Paramatma, everything is in his body, right? There is no beginning or end to his body, isn't it? So everything that we see whatever we can see, is part of his body. We are also part of his body, right? So he is the one who is residing in all of us. Okay. And so Lord Krishna is going to explain more about why he is Purushottama and like explain about himself in this particular chapter. And knowing about him, knowing about Purushottama, and knowing how great he is, surrendering to him, we will be able to get our liberation, right? Our goal. Whatever goals we may seek, right? We will be getting from him only. Okay. Good. Okay, we'll start with first sloka. I'll share my screen. Hope you can see.
Not yet, sir. No. Now, sir. Yeah.
Okay. Please chant. अथ पञ्चदशोऽध्यायः
अथ पञ्चदशोऽध्यायः
Panchadashodhyayः
पुरुषोत्तमप्राप्तियोगः
पुरुषोत्तमप्राप्तियोगः
श्रीभगवानुवाच
श्रीभगवानुवाच
ऊर्ध्वमूलमधः शाखम्
ऊर्ध्वमूलमधः शाखम्
Uddhamudhamadhashakam
अश्वत्थं प्राहुरव्ययम्
अश्वत्थं प्राहुरव्ययम्
Prahuravayam
छन्दांसि यस्य पर्णानि
छन्दांसि
Chantanti
यस्य पर्णानि
यस्तं वेद स वेदवित्
यस्तं
Yastam
वेद स वेदवित्
Vedavite
Let's chant together. श्रीभगवानुवाच
श्रीभगवानुवाच ऊर्ध्वमूलमधः
ऊर्ध्वमूलमधः
शाखम्
शाखम्
अश्वत्थं
अश्वत्थं
प्राहुरव्ययम्
प्राहुरव्ययम् छन्दांसि
छन्दांसि
यस्य
यस्य
पर्णानि
पर्णानि यस्तं
यस्तं
वेद
वेद
स
स
वेदवित्
वेदवित्. So we learned so far about many concepts. We just revised, right? We learned about how we take births again and again. We are calling that as a cycle. Typically, we refer to that as a cycle, right? Because we are going in circles, taking birth, taking birth again, taking birth again. Typically, we refer to that as a circle. But it does not really explain the concepts fully about, uh, why we are taking these circles again and again, right? Isn't it? See, it's only that, oh, somebody is taking birth again and again, so let's call it as a cycle of rebirths. But Lord Krishna is actually giving a very good example that tells us in quickly, like whatever we learned so far about why we are taking births, why we are in this particular creation, why we are taking birth in these bodies, right? So Lord Krishna is giving the example of a tree. Okay, there are two interpretations for this, but we'll see one interpretation. And Sri Swamiji has given another interpretation also. We'll see that also. So Lord Krishna is saying, Udhamulam adhasyakam Ashvatham Prahuravyayam. Ashwatham, the tree is called Ashvattha. Prahuhu, it is said, right? Prahuhu is said, that is said like that, or described. No, there is a tree which is Ashvattha tree, or in English it is called peepul tree. Okay, that tree is said as avyayam, indestructible. No, it's all. So this particular whatever we are going through, the cycle is continuous, right? So this Ashvattha tree is so big; it is indestructible. It cannot. I mean, it cannot be destroyed. Okay, that easily. So it is said as indestructible Ashvattha tree. Urdhvamulam adhasyakam. Urdhvamulam is having roots above, and adhasyakam having branches below. So it is an inverted tree, Ashvattha, which is huge tree, having roots on the top and branches in the bottom. Chandamsi yasya parnani, whose leaves are chandamsi. Yasya parnani. Parnani is leaves. Yasya parnani, of the tree's leaves are chandamsi, are the statements given in the Vedas, or the actions prescribed in the Vedas. Okay. Okay. Yaha tam veda saha vedavit. Whoever knows that samsara tree, tam is that. Yaha, whoever knows that, saha, that person, vedavit, knows the Vedas. Okay. So basically, Lord Krishna is explaining about a tree that is having roots on the top and branches below. It is indestructible tree. I mean, it's a continuous, perpetual tree, and whose leaves are the actions prescribed in the Vedas. Okay, and whoever knows this tree, this Ashwattha tree, our acharyas have called that as samsara tree, and whoever knows about this particular tree is the one who is the knower of the Vedas. Okay, we'll see about this particular tree. Lord Krishna explains more about this tree. We'll on to the second sloka. You can see the screen.
Yes.
Please chant. Adhaschodhvam prasrutastasya sakhaha
अधश्चोर्ध्वं
Urdhvam
प्रसृतास्तस्य
शाखाः
शाखाः
गुणप्रवृद्धा विषयप्रवालाः
गुणप्रवृद्धा
प्रवृद्धा
विषयप्रवालाः
विषयप्रवालाः
अधश्च मूलान्यनुसन्ततानि
अधश्च
मूलान्यनुसन्ततानि
मूलान्यनुसन्तानि
कर्मानुबन्धीनि मनुष्यलोके
कर्मानुबन्धीनि मनुष्यलोके
मनुष्यलोके
Let's chant together. अधश्चोर्ध्वं
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 प्रसृतास्ते
प्रसृतास्तस्य
प्रसृतास्तस्य
शाखाः
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 गुणप्रवृद्धा
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 विषयप्रवालाः
विषयप्रवालाः
विषयप्रवालाः adhascha moolam
मूलान्यनुसन्ततानि
कर्मानुबन्धीनि मनुष्यलोके.
So Lord Krishna is explaining about this particular tree. He's explaining about ourselves only. Like whatever we learned is like now explaining with, tree as an example. Okay. Tasya shakhaha, branches of the tree. Adhaha cha urdhvam prasrutaha. Adhaha means downwards, urdhvam is upwards. Prasrutaha are spread. So the branches of the tree are spread upwards and downwards. Okay. Guna pravruddhaha. So this is where the like we can connect to that particular tree example. Guna pravruddhaha, nourished by the gunas. The tree is nourished by the three gunas, sattva, rajas, and tamas. Okay. Vishaya pravalaha. The shoots are the sense object. Vishayas, we learned about that. Vishaya means sense objects, objects of our senses, like whatever we see, hear, touch, smell, and taste. The food that we taste or the flowers that we smell. So all these are vishayas, right? So for this particular tree, the shoots or sprouts are the vishayas, the sense objects. Adhaha mulani, the bottom roots, anusantatani are they're continuous, uninterrupted. The roots are uninterrupted. Karmanubandhini manushya karmic bondages. Right? So we learned about. See, if we're just saying that this is a cycle, we don't see why are we in this cycle, right? Why are we going around and around in this cycle? So this particular tree has roots which are karmic bondages. Okay, and they're uninterrupted, like so like the roots spread so much, right? And Manushya Loka is in the world of men, in this world, right? So the sprouts are the Vishaya objects, and the tree is nourished by the gunas. Okay. So when we are in this particular, in the universe, we are taking bodies. We are taking one body after another body, one body after another body, because of what? We learned just now, right? Attachment to the gunas. So imagine that is acting like a fertilizer for the tree, right? It is nourished. It is we are getting that kind of energy to get into one body after the another body. We never stop. We don't have rest. We don't feel tired. We are getting affected by this the gunas, like we're getting energy from it, right? Never stop. Okay, we are uh, always young. Imagine you don't become old I took so many births, now I want to take rest. Nothing like that. We're always having a lot of energy. We're getting that energy to take one body after another body. We are getting the nourishment. We are growing with that because of the gunas. I mean gunas in the sense that we are influenced by the gunas. We are attached to the effects of the gunas. And Vishaya Pravala. So we are running after, right? When we are in this world, are we sitting idle? No. We are running after the sense objects, right? Okay. And we are this particular tree. So in the previous sloka, Lord Krishna said, the activities are the leaves of this particular tree, right? The actions prescribed in the Vedas. So typically, in order to satisfy our materialistic needs or desires, we practice whatever is prescribed in the Vedas. Okay? I mean, that is what is recommended, at least. Whether everyone practices or not, but our Vedas also contain the Vedic practices to satisfy whatever materialistic needs that we have. You know, they gave you need to perform these kind of activities in order to satisfy your materialistic needs. That is better than, like, if I want money, you know, if you go and rob a bank, no, right? That is not recommended. But that is also a way to do it, but that is not the right way to do it. So the Vedas have prescribed the practices, the duties that we can follow in order to satisfy our needs. So, or our desires, in order to get our desires fulfilled, because not everyone is seeking self-realization or God realization. There are a lot of people who are at the lower levels. They are seeking the power, wealth, health, and other. I mean, these are the ones that they want the materialistic needs to be satisfied. So, this particular tree has the those practices as the leaves. I mean, why did Lord Krishna mention that as the leaves? So we typically leaves are the ones which give um, uh, give the energy to the tree. I mean, leaves are the ones that will make the tree grow. Right? It provides food. Leaves are the ones that provides food to the trees. Okay. So we are getting our needs satisfied. We are growing in this body, or we are able to satisfy our needs by practicing the actions that are given in the Vedas. Imagine we are part of this tree. The tree is satisfying its need for the food through the leaves, right? So Lord Krishna gave that also. So when we are in this world, right? We are perpetually, in this state of getting, one body after another body because of the gunas, influence of the gunas. Okay, and we are like, we are the sprouts. We are growing by running after this. Imagine you are growing, right? We are running after the sense objects, and we are satisfying our needs, fulfilling our materialistic needs by practicing the duties that are given in the Vedas. Just like a tree is getting energy from the leaves. The leaves are the ones that make the food for the trees. And we are deeply rooted in this particular world due to the karmic bondage that we have, right? So as long as we have the karmic bondage, strong, that we will, will the tree will never, vanish. The tree will continue to grow, right? As long as we are performing our activities to satisfy our desires, we'll continue to acquire karmic bondage, right? That's a food for the tree. As long as we are running after the running after the sensory objects of our senses, this materialistic world will continue to grow, right? As long as we are getting influenced by the gunas, we'll continue to, this particular tree will never go away. Okay. This is a good example. I mean, this is how we can try to connect the dots, connect, everything that we learned so far. Not about theoretical concepts like why tree and why not this and that. Like, we can use the tree as an example. Lord Krishna connected everything together in a simple way for us to understand, right? Um, so again, it is now given in Upanishads also, other places in Vedic scriptures also. This Ashvattha tree, reference is given. Okay, we'll continue. Lord Krishna is continuing to explain about this, the tree. Hope you can see.
Yes, sir.
Okay, please chant. न रूपमस्येह तथोपलभ्यते
न रूपतस्ते
समस्येन तथोपलभ्यते
नान्तो न चादिर्न च सम्प्रतिष्ठा
नान्तो न चादिर्न च सम्प्रतिष्ठा
अश्वत्थमेनं सुविरूढमूलम्
अश्वत्थमेनं
अश्वत्थमेनं
सुविरूढमूलम्
सुविरूढमूलम्
असङ्गशस्त्रेण दृढेन चित्वा
असङ्गशस्त्रेण दृढेन चित्वा
Let's chant together.
न
न
रूपमस्येह
रूपमस्येह
तथोपलभ्यते
तथोपलभ्यते
नान्तो
नान्तो
न
न
चादिर्न
चादिर्न
च
च
प्रतिष्ठा
सम्प्रतिष्ठा
अश्वत्थमेनं
अश्वत्थमेनं
सविरूढमूलम्
सुविरूढमूलम्
असङ्गशस्त्रेण
असङ्गशस्त्रेण
दृढेन
दृढेन
चित्वा
चित्वा
So this tree is so big, is getting nourished by the gunas, and it's always growing. We're running after the senses, acquiring karmic bondages. Karmic bondage, the roots are spreading. As the tree grows, the roots are also spreading. It's so huge, perpetual, continuous tree. And Lord Krishna is saying here, Asya Rupam, the form of this tree, samsara tree, we're calling it a samsara tree. Tatha, as mentioned before, iha na upalabhyate is not understood here. Okay. So it is not understood by people easily. Na antaha, na adihi, na sampratistha. Na antaha, not the end. So the form is not understood, is not perceived. You cannot perceive that form completely. It's so huge. Na antaha, there's no end. You cannot see the end. Na adihi, not the beginning. Na sampratistha, not the foundation. Pratistha, foundation, support. Okay. So we can't understand, or we cannot perceive this particular tree. Where is the beginning? Where is the end? Where is the foundation support? Where is the, the entire form, it's so difficult to perceive for us. Okay. Then how do we get out of this? So is it that we have to be in this cycle? In this tree now, in this tree always, right? Is there no uh, way we can come out of it, right? Lord Krishna is saying, Chitva. So how do you come out of it? Because you have to cut down the tree, right? So how do you cut down the tree is Chitva, having cut down. It's a continuous thing. Chitva, having cut down. Ashvatham enam suvirudha moolam. This tree, Ashvattha tree, suvirudha moolam, having deeply fixed roots, right? Having cut down. How? Asanga shastrena rudhena, by strong, mighty weapon of asanga, non-attachment. Sanga is attachment, asanga is non-attachment. Rudhena is firm, mighty, strong. Shastra is the weapon. Ena, wherever it comes, by, with. Okay, usually. So how do you cut down this particular tree? You cannot use regular, physical things to cut down this tree. It is only through the non-attachment. We will be able to come out of it. Okay, it is not possible to uproot it completely. Like, it is not possible to it is not possible to stop doing our activities. You can say, oh, if I stop my activities that are prescribed in the Vedas, or not doing any activity, will we be able to, come out of this? No. Or is it possible to say just by wishing that, oh, I want to be, grow. I want to overcome the influence of the three gunas. No, no. All this we will not be able to, come out of the tree that easily unless we are, we are using a strong weapon of non-attachment. Okay. Okay. Here I'll briefly mention about, another interpretation that Sri Swamiji has given to us is asanga. Okay, asanga. A, the letter A, refers to Paramatma, right? Aksharanam akarosmi, so like or Uma in Om. Om is a combination of three sounds. Ma. A refers to Paramatma there also. So A is reference to Paramatma, God. Asanga, attaching ourselves or associating ourselves with Paramatma.
Beautiful ending. Good, very nice. Beautiful meaning. Yeah.
Right. So one is non-attachment from the materialistic, desires, and we'll see what are the non-attachments. But from that aspect, non-attachment, and asanga is attachment to Paramatma. So it is, in fact, difficult for us to do non-attachment. But the solution for us is to attach ourselves to Paramatma. So Lord Krishna is also saying that only by attaching yourself to me, only by associating with me, only with bhakti, only surrendering to me, only serving me, always be united with me. These are all the things that Lord Krishna keeps on saying in entire Bhagavad Gita. So only that is a means for you to come out of this tree. Okay. And another interpretation for this tree is ahankara. Okay. So the ahankara is not the ego that we call in English. Ahankara is thinking that I am body. Okay. From that, everything piles up, right? So that is the basic fundamental flaw. If we have I am body, everything else, comes under the same category. So everything follows like this. If I am body, then this is my work. I am doing the work. This result is for me, and I want to enjoy this result. And my life is only for me to enjoy this, this result. And there's nothing else in my life. I mean, everything starts from there, the basic flaw of ahankara. So this particular tree is basically the ahankara tree. Okay, the ahankara starts at the top, in our mind, right? So and mind and intellect. So it's top of our body, and it spreads throughout the body, and it is nourished by the gunas, isn't it? We want to experience the effects of the gunas. We want to run after the sensory pleasures, sense objects, right? So we keep running, we keep going in that direction, or we are shooting in that direction. Our ahankara goes in that direction. As we are experiencing these effects of the gunas, and we are running after the sensory objects, our ahankara keeps on growing, growing and growing and growing. And it actually creates the karmic bondage for us. So our karmic bondage are the roots that become very strong, right? And will not let our ahankara go away that easily. Like if you have a tree with a lot of roots, you can't simply pull the tree out. It's not so, and it is so strong. It will withstand any pressure any, like even a hurricane comes, the tree will not, be uprooted. Imagine if ahankara is so strong that no matter how much influence somebody tries to put on us, no matter how much opportunity that we get to mend ourselves, we will be so strong, we will not accept it. They'll say, what are you telling all these stories, right? I am so great. Okay. So, the whatever I see, whatever I can enjoy, whatever, that is my goal. Materialistic things are my goal. So this ahankara becomes very strong, and the karmic bondage will not let us bend over. So will not let us change. The karmic bondage is the obstacle for us. Okay. So imagine the roads are so many, right, spread across in a large area, and the tree is so big, it's so strong, it will not bend, it will not move in the right direction. It will continue to grow the way it is growing by feeding on its own ahankara, increasing the ahankara again. So the asanga sastrena dridena chitva. So by the weapon of non-attachment, one can cut down this tree and be eligible to be liberated. Okay. So non-attachment, just a quick recollection. So non-attachment towards doership, right? Or detachment or non-attachment. So doership or the words, not thinking that I am the doer. Towards the activities themselves, not thinking that these are my activities. So that is one non-attachment. Non-attachment towards the results of the activities. Okay. They are not thinking that these results are mine. Non-attachment towards objects that contain the gunas. So non-attachment towards the materialistic possessions, not attachment even to our body even. So non-attachment to anything other than Atma in this world, and non-attachment towards the effects of the gunas. That is one more important thing, right? Because of we are attached to the effects of the gunas, we are getting we are having the Sattva, Rajas or Tamas dominant, and based on that we are getting the next birth. Okay. So these are all the non-attachments that we need to practice. And what is that firm knowledge, that mighty knowledge? Okay. That makes that non-attachment very strong. Knowledge of Atma, of ourselves, right? I am Atma, not body. Knowledge of the qualities of Atma, right? Knowledge of our goal. What is our goal? Okay. What is true happiness? Knowledge of how to perform our activities. Okay. That is nishkama karma, or with karma phala tyaga. Same, for karma yoga. Knowledge of the qualities of karma phala tyagi. So what should be my qualities if I want to be performing the activities as nishkama karma? What should be my qualities, my attributes? Okay, which will lead me to perform the activities. We went through all this karma phala tyagi. We need to be a karma phala tyagi. Knowledge of the jnana yogi. We also went through this. Knowledge. I mean, what should be our characteristics, our attributes, qualities? If I want to get self-realization, I want to know about myself, or I want to be on the path towards self-realization. What kind of knowledge should I have? What should be my practices based on that knowledge? Knowledge on how to focus on Atma, knowledge of Paramatma, right? So Paramatma's knowledge also needed, and knowledge of how to be devoted to Paramatma. So knowledge of Bhakti Yoga. So Sankhya Yoga, Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, and knowledge of ourself, knowledge of our body, knowledge of Prakriti, knowledge of Paramatma, knowledge of what is the true means to achieve our results, achieve our goal. So if we have that knowledge, then our the non-attachment, um, um, the weapon of non-attachment becomes very sharp, right? So if let's say there's a tree and there's a that we want to cut down a tree, and there is a axe to cut the tree, we know that it can cut the axe is the instrument to cut the tree, but what if the axe is not sharp? We'll never be cutting the tree. So if non-attachment is not that strong, right, we will not be able to come out of it, come out of the this perpetual taking births again and again in this particular tree or in a cycle, right? So only when we cut down the ahankara tree, we'll become eligible to get the liberation, right? So you can take the tree as a samsara tree as a traditional interpretation, which is also useful for us to understand, right? We are somewhere in this particular tree and it's growing forever. Imagine we are trillions of years old, and this tree has become so big. So we can see this particular tree as our own, you know, self in the tree growing, having our karmic bondage is the roots of the tree and all that. Or we can see this entire creation is the tree, right? And we are part of the tree at this moment. And some branches are going up, some branches are down. So, there are all these um, four divisions, right? Chaturvanyam Maya Srishtam, Lord Krishna said. Four varnas, Deva, Manisha, Tiryak, Stavaras. Some are up, some are in the middle, some are down, right? So the branches are going up and our branches are going down. Some branches are in the middle. We can see that, those which are up very high are the higher births, right? Those which are down, going down, are the lower births, and those branches which are in the same plane, right, spreading in the same plane, they are the middle births, people in that. So that is another way of looking at it. So, but this particular tree is infinite. Nobody can see the beginning, middle, or end. Nobody can perceive the form, the complete form of this particular tree. So we are in this body right now. We can only see a very small percentage of the creation, right? We are not able to see the entire creation. It's so difficult for us to um, perceive it. Now, how do we even come out of it? The only way is through non-attachment, one meaning, or associating with Paramatma, another meaning. Okay. Okay, we'll move to the next sloka. Sloka 4. Please chant. Tatah padam tatparimargitavyam
ततः पदं तत्परिमार्गितव्यम्
yasmin gata na nivartanti bhuyah
यस्मिन् गता न निवर्तन्ति भूयः
tameva chadyam purusham prapadyet
तमेव चाद्यं पुरुषं प्रपद्ये
yatah pravrittihi prasruta purani.
यतः प्रवृत्तिः प्रसृता पुराणी
Let's chant together.
ततः
Tatah
पदं
padam
तत्परिमार्गितव्यम्
tatparimargitavyam
यस्मिन्
यस्मिन्
गता
गता
न
न
निवर्तन्ति
निवर्तन्ति
भूयः
भूयः
तमेव
तमेव
चाद्यं
चाद्यं
पुरुषं
पुरुषं
प्रपद्ये
प्रपद्येत्
यतः
यतः
प्रवृत्तिः
प्रवृत्तिः
प्रसृता
प्रसृता
पुराणी
पुराणी. Please note some of these texts have prapadye as a third line. It's prapadyet. Both different interpretations, but we are following the prapadyet. So Lord Krishna is saying, Tatah padam tat parimargitavyam. Tataha, from that. What is from that? From that non-attachment. Right? Because previous loka, Lord Krishna mentioned about asanga sastrena. So from that non-attachment, tat parimargitavyam, that destination should be sought. Okay? Drudhena chitva, like there, the sentence did not stop in the previous sloka. Chitva means after cutting down the tree using the weapon, strong weapon of the non-attachment, strengthened by the firm knowledge. One must seek that destination. Okay, what is the destination? Yasmin gataha, having reached that state, or having reached in that state, we can say having reached that destination. Na nivartanti bhuyaha, one does not return again. Yeah. So one must seek that destination from where we do not take birth again. Okay. So basically practice non-attachment and seek the destination from where you do not take birth again, or where you do not return again into this tree. Okay. Tameva adyam purusham prapadyet. One should surrender to that prapadyet. One should surrender adyam purusham, to that earliest purusha. Okay, so here purusha is starting, right? To that adyam purusham, to that earliest supreme Atma. Earliest is from whom everything is coming, right? So Lord Krishna said, I am the source of everything and everything emanates from me, right? Everything proceeds from me. So he is the Adyam Purusham. He is the Adi Purusha, right? one, if you are referring to him as Purusha, which Vishwa, because he's, he's the Atma for everything, right? So we are calling him as Paramatma because he's the Supreme Atma for everything, including the Jivatmas and Prakriti. So one must surrender to that Adyam Purusham, or one must surrender with that earliest Atma or Paramatma alone. Tam eva, that means alone. Yataha pravrutti prasruta purani. Who is that person? You're calling him as person, let us say Purusha is person. Who is that Supreme Atma? From whom, yataha, from whom pravrutti prasruta purani. This everlasting process emanated, is proceeding. So Purani is everlasting. Okay. That this entire process of creation and we are taking births again and again due to the attachment of the gunas, and right, this whole thing started from him, from whom everything started, because that's why we are calling as Adi Purusha, Adyam Purusham, right? So we must, so having cut down that the tree with the non-attachment, we must surrender to Paramatma. Okay. See, here very clearly, we can see they are distinct, right? They're not same. Just trying to see these slokas one after the other. We see that if the Jivatma is same as Paramatma, then this kind of sloka will not, Lord Krishna will not be saying, right? Okay. Any questions on that? But we'll move to the next sloka. Fifth sloka. Listen. निर्मानमोहा जितसङ्गदोषाः
निर्मानमोहाजितसङ्गदोषाः
अध्यात्मनित्या विनिवृत्तकामाः
अध्यात्मनित्या विनिवृत्तकामाः
द्वन्द्वैर्विमुक्ताः सुखदुःखसंज्ञैः
द्वन्द्वैर्विमुक्ता सुखदुःखसंज्ञैः
गच्छन्त्यमूढाः पदमव्ययं तत्
गच्छन्त्यमूढा पदमव्ययं तत्
Let's chant together.
निर्मानमोहाजितसङ्गदोषाः अध्यात्मनित्या विनिवृत्तकामाः
द्वन्द्वैर्विमुक्ताः सुखदुःखसंज्ञैः गच्छन्त्यमूढाः पदमव्ययं तत्. Okay, Lord Krishna is saying Nirmana Mohaha. So he's talking about those who have practiced non-attachment, surrender to Paramatma. Okay, or who are seeking refuge with God. nirmana mohaha, who are free from the illusion that body is the self. Moha is delusion. Okay, so who are free from nihi, like wherever it comes, free kind of. So who are free from the delusion that body is self. Jita sanga doshaha, who conquered the evil attachment. Sanga doshaha, evil attachments. Jita, who conquered. So who conquered the evil attachments? What attachments? The attachments of the three gunas. Okay. Adhyatma nityaha, those who are focused on Atma, Atma Jnana, Adhyatma nityaha, who are focused on self-realization. Vinivritta kamaha, who are not having worldly desires, kamaha, desires. Vinivritta, not having worldly desires. Sukha dukkha sanyaihi dvandvaihi vimuktaha. Dvandvaihi, dualities, by the dualities. Which are the dualities? Sukha dukkha, the dualities which are known as sukha dukkha sanyaihi, which are known as joy and grief. Okay, who are vimuktaha, who are freed from the influence, of these dualities, or influenced by the dualities. Sanyaihi is dvandvaihi, is by the dualities. Okay, amudhaha, who are enlightened, who are not deceived about the self. Mudhaha is foolish, fools, right? Amudhaha is enlightened. And what is enlightenment here is who are not deceived about the self. They know the reality of the self. Tat avyayam padam gachanti. Tat is that, right? Avyayam padam is that immutable, imperishable. Avyayam is immutable, imperishable, everlasting. Padam is state. Gachanti, they attain. Okay, our padam is destination, state. So who surrender to Paramatma, having practiced non-attachment, and who are free from the delusion about the body, right? Who have conquered the attachment to the three gunas, who are focused on Atma Jnana, who are not having worldly desires, who are freed from the dualities, um, you know, like all the dualities, sukha dukkha sanya, like the joy and grief, who are enlightened, and for those they would attain the state which is immutable, which is the pure self in the form of unlimited knowledge. Avyayam padam, that immutable, imperishable destination. Okay. So what is the destination? Lord Krishna will talk about what is that immutable destination or immutable state of, that whoever is practicing all this will reach, right? Okay. Sixth sloka. Please chant. न तद्भासयते सूर्यो
न
न
तद्भासयते
सूर्यो
सूर्यः
न शशाङ्को न पावकः
न
शशंको
शशाङ्को
न
न
पावकः
पावकः
यद्गत्वा न निवर्तन्ते
यद्गत्वा
यद्गत्वा न
न निवर्तन्ते
निवर्तन्ते
तद्धाम परमं मम
तद्धाम
मम परमं
परमं मम
तद्धाम
न तद्भासयते
तद्भासयते
सूर्यो
सूर्यो
न
न
शशंको न
शशाङ्को न
पावकः
पावकः
यद्गत्वा
यद्गत्वा न
यद्गत्वा न
निवर्तन्ते
निवर्तन्ते
तद्धाम
तद्धाम परमं
परमं
मम
मम
So Lord Krishna is talking about that state. What is that state? न सूर्यः न शशाङ्कः न पावकः तत् भासयते. न सूर्यः, not the sun, न शशाङ्कः, not the moon, न पावकः, not the fire. Tat, that is tat padam, right? The previous sloka, Lord Krishna said there is a destination or state that these whoever has, have practiced those principles will reach, right? And that state is tat padam bhasayate, illuminate, right? So na suryah, na shasankah, na pavakah bhasayate, that state. That means neither sun nor moon nor fire eliminate that state. Okay. Yat gatva na nivartante, after attaining which, yat is which, right? Gatva, attaining, after reaching, na nivartante, one does not return. One does not return to this world of samsara again, to the tree or the cycle, whichever we want to imagine. So after attaining that state, one does not return again. Tat dhama paramam mama. Okay. That state of this whoever is reaching. It's not that the bodies are reaching there, right? It's jivatmas who are reaching that state. So it's not like jivatmas are going from one place to another place. Their state is changing, right? They can go. I mean, it's not that they don't want to go, but it's not like they're getting a ticket to travel to some other place. So they will reach a state which is mama is mine, paramam dhama, supreme radiance. Dhama has another meaning as place. So some may think that they will reach a Paramapada or some place, right? But the context here is about illumination, and Dhamma has the another meaning of radiance, bright illumination. Okay, so they will reach a state. So this Jivatma reaches a state of supreme radiance. Okay, that neither sun nor moon nor fire illuminate. That radiance is mine. Okay, that belongs to me. So when the Jivatma reaches that state of pristine purity, right? You're no longer bound by this nature, right? So when it reaches that pure self, that state is mine. Right? So I know we have only 2 minutes. So next sloka, Lord Krishna explains, just to explain it a little bit further, right? Lord Krishna says that this Jivatma is my part only. Mama eva amshaha. Amsha is part. Okay. Um, so we are part of him. Okay. So even the one who achieved the state of liberation is also part of him. See, while we are in this bound self, I mean, we are in this state of karmic bondage, right? We are bound self, right? Or baddha jivis. We are part of him. And the one who gets liberated, who is liberated from this bondage, karmic bondage, is not taking birth again and again, is also part of him. Okay, so the one who is bound is Utpurusha. The one who is liberated is Uttara Purusha, and Paramatma is Uttama Purusha. Okay, we'll continue sloka 7.
In other words, can we say this radiance can be seen in Jivan Mukta kadandi? Anocha mana? I mean, it's not necessary. The Bhagavan is explaining that it's not like after death or anything, right? I mean, the radiance we can see.
So one way of seeing this is like when I mean we are able to perceive object when light falls on that object, right?
Yeah.
Light falls on the object, but if I don't have the eyesight, will I be able to see?
Yeah, no.
No, right? So sun, moon, and fire, they can shine light on the object. It is only taking away the darkness around the object. But whether the object is perceived or not is the knowledge within us. Okay. So if even if it's shining very bright, if that knowledge is not there, okay, then I will not be able to perceive it.
Okay.
Imagine I close my eyes, I will not be able to perceive, right? So if I don't have the knowledge about it, I will not be able to perceive.
Mm.
So that knowledge, that pure knowledge, which is not bound by the karmic bondage, right? That is the radiance that Lord Krishna is talking about. That radiance, that supreme radiance, that means the Jivatma which has achieved that state of supreme radiance, okay, which is able to, which has unlimited knowledge, which is shining with unlimited knowledge. It's not like shining like a sun or something like that. Imagine that, to express it with that knowledge is shining, right? So that radiance is mine. So is also my part only.
Mm.
So that the Jivatma is also when it reaches that state of pure state, which is not bound by the karmic bondage, is my part only. He's saying, is mine only.
Right. Yeah.
That Jivatma is not. He's not saying that Jivatma is me.
Mm. Part of.
Right. So the Jivatma is my part only.
Mm.
So that's where the difference is. Like one is having the identity with Paramatma. The other one is part of Paramatma. We are never separated from Paramatma. Like as Jivatma, we are always with Paramatma only. But we are not same as Paramatma. We are distinct from Paramatma. Inseparable, distinct from Paramatma. That is where all these slokas is kind of giving the same meaning. Want to again say that because the other way to understand, some places Lord Krishna says the Jivatma as Ishvara, or in some place, one place Lord Krishna mentioned about Paramatma. But the context is that it is not the Paramatma, the God, it is the supreme Atma compared to body. Or in the next few slokas it will come like Ishvara is, you have to take it as ruler, not like Paramatma as Ishvara. The Jivatma is the ruler of the body. So here it is very clearly mentioned that when it reaches that state, Lord Krishna is saying that it is my part only, my amsha only.
Yeah.
It is not me, right? It is mine, not me.
Mm. Okay.
So that's the difference.
Sure. Thanks.
Okay. Thank you, Andy. We'll conclude with the concluding prayer. कायेन वाचा मनसेन्द्रियैर्वा बुद्ध्यात्मना वा प्रकृते स्वभावात् करोमि यज्जत् सकलं परस्मै नारायणायेति समर्पयामि श्रीमन्नारायणायेति समर्पयामि सर्वं श्रीकृष्णार्पणमस्तु ओम अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः जय श्रीमन्नारायण
Jai
जय
Shrimanarayan. Thank you so
श्रीमन्नारायण
much.
थैंक यू सो मच जय श्रीमन्नारायण
जय श्री मयूर।